Alright, I am removing the factory alarm and installing a Viper alarm on this 95 Dodge Ram. This is a 2500 3/4 ton. This whole generation should be pretty similar. First gen might be similar, and 98 to 01 or 02 or whenever they made them might be similar as well. Here is the factory EVS alarm. This is the whole thing here. You can see it had an error at some point, and I think what someone did was hardwire this valet button, so it just kind of turned it off. But it made me nervous leaving it in here, and my local stereo shop wanted to leave it in and add stuff to it, and so I did it myself to do it right. This center plug, most of these things come out, little valet button. Here is the sensor for the little clicker button. And the only thing I cut on here was some relay wires to flash the parking lights in the alarm. Yeah. So, and then there's these two plugs on the side, which I cut off to reuse for my new system, just to make a very clean install. So, the first thing we have is the ignition set of wires and stuff. You know, pink on top here is constant power, it's fused. Black is ground, blue is ignition on. The two big yellow wires are the start. So if you shove a paper clip in here, you can start the truck and run it. And that's how I moved it around while I was working on it. This other yellow runs back, and I'm kind of guessing somewhere it's like the number 26 body connector, I think it's called back there. I'm guessing it's a momentary interrupt switch to kill the rest of the electronics while cranking. And so I just wired it in. I wired these into the new relay before they ran through the old alarm, and it would kill the ability to start the truck. And that's why I cut it out, as it made me nervous. And these are the two main wires that come out of the relay. If you disconnect power to the alarm system, the truck will start. If this relay has power applied to it from the alarm, it will make the truck not start. So while the alarm's armed, it energizes the relay and kills the ability to start. Pretty simple. The door locks were a little more complicated. We have a power for the door lock, and then we have orange and gray and pink and black, I think. And one of them does lock, one does unlock. The striped wire goes to the lock actuator. The solid wire comes from the switch. And while the switch is not being operated, everything's grounded. So if you try and apply power to this, it will end up blowing a fuse. So I wired everything into a single pole double throw switch. So 85 got power from that power from the power circuit. 86 goes the alarm system, and that's these blue and green wires, and they send out a negative pulse signal when they want to lock or unlock the truck. Kind of weird, backwards thinking, but when you hit the unlock button, then 86 gets grounded, 85's constant hot, so that makes the relay flip. 30 goes to the door lock, the striped wire, and 87A, when the relay is not energized, is connected to the solid colored wire, you know, solid orange or solid pink, so that it gets ground. And 87 gets connected to positive, constant positive from the red wire on here. So that way, when the relay energizes, it switches from grounding this one to positive, and it's already got a ground from over here because it's normally grounded. Or if you're doing the opposite, locking or unlocking, it's got a negative signal from over here. It switches from a negative signal on this one to positive, and it locks and unlocks the truck. It took me forever to figure this out, and there's no information out there, and no one actually shows it working when they make their video. So lock and unlock works on there. Lock and unlock works on the Viper alarm. Easy. The next part is these relays. These flash the lights, or the parking lights, from the original alarm. I originally just cut this wire off the original alarm and left it. I applied the white light flashing circuit from the new alarm system, which by the way looks like this little guy, to red with a black stripe, and that is the parking light hot wire. It doesn't really matter, you can use either of these, red with black or black with red. And I grounded this one, and we'll just probably screw it in right here was my plan down here, and stick the relays up in there so that way it'll flash the parking lights. I'm not messing with the headlights. The other part of this equation was the making it so that it sets the alarm off if the door opens, which is green from the new alarm system. Yellow is the color from the door lock. And this works too as a ground, so it's actually applying ground. You know how, if you don't know how this works, you should not be doing this. But when I press that button, it turns off the dome light. And so, when this button gets released, it applies negative, trips this green wire, which wants a negative input, and sets the alarm system off. So that's about it. We just explained it all in 6 minutes, and it took me 2 days to figure it out. But I'm gonna straighten all these wires out and clean everything and tuck them up into the dash and hopefully finish the rest of the truck.